What's up, YouTubeites? Welcome into the CovrPrice Weekly Top 10 for the week ending February 24th. This is our last February show. It's insane.
Is it? Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Already.
Oh my God. End of
It's
Feb.
almost March. So we're all green because St. Patrick's Day is coming up, I guess. Maybe that's
Yeah.
all of it. Anyway, while you all are congregating, this one.
I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with your body. I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with your body. I'm in love with the shape of you.
I got the last comment right when the song ended. That was perfect.
Yeah, nice.
Good timing.
In sync.
Clicking through, I'm like, I got it. Welcome in, guys. We're excited to have you. Tuesdays are just like my favorite day of the week. It's so much fun. I got Marty here. I got Lando. We're going to be covering the top 10. But before we get started, Lando, say what's good.
So much good, guys. I'm just happy to be back. Did you see the list? This is my kind of list, guys. This is an amazing list. I'm pumped for tonight. Pumped to see the chat here. Everybody showing up, the usual suspects in the chat. Got Marty in the house. We got Laura in the house. Got Marty's cats. We got Marty's dogs. We're all rocking the green tonight, getting ready for the month of March. I can't wait for winter to be over. As a Canadian, guys, I'm done. Done. So done. Let's go. March. Spring break.
Yeah.
It was hot here today. I wish it would stay cold longer, but
it was warm here too, in Florida too, Panhandle, Florida. It was warm. It was nice. It felt like spring, early spring.
Feel free to invite me anytime.
Anytime, you're welcome. Door is always open for you, Lando.
Done. Let's go.
Marty, say what's up.
What's up? And you know, this list is very interesting list. You're going to see some repeats along the way, but I like the variety in it. It's a good list. I'm feeling like Ace Ventura today with all my babies out. You know, I got the cat, and I got the okay, come in. Here we go. But thank you everybody in the chat if you're joining us live or if you're joining us on the rewind. We really appreciate if you hit the like. Please, if you're joining us, you're new here, hit the subscribe button. We love having you guys here. We love interacting with you guys out in the chat. So keep the comments coming. It's fun. We have fun. This is my therapy, as I always say. So, Laura?
Let's just dive right in, guys. If you were just joining, welcome to the top 10. So this list is all 100% data driven. We're reflecting the last 7 days of actual aftermarket sales. We're looking at major units sold, and percentage growth and which comics make the list. Every week we have a runners up. Marty, what do we have this week?
Yeah, runner up brings you, if I could just move my cat for a second, Ultimate Spider-Man #1, the Marco Checchetto regular cover, published by Marvel in January 2024. The resurgence of the Ultimate Universe was a huge event throughout 2024. We're going 2 months into 2025, and it is still a trending book. While this book might have fallen off the top list a couple times, it reigned as top contender for the majority of 2024. This past weekend, Marvel announced the series Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion. It looks like this book series will be the beginning of the collision of the universe. Marvel has teased a huge summer event, and many speculate that this will be the beginning of that summer event. It all started with this issue, so fans are likely trying to secure a copy before the event launches. We tracked 11 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 22%, with a high sale of $185 for a CGC 9.8 copy and a current raw near mint fair market value of $90. So I'm going to tell you that was a very difficult read for me, being that I was holding my cat down the entire time so I can read the screen.
You did great.
But
that was a good read.
But I was able to make it through that one.
Really quick, Lando, should we bring the chalice back out? I mean, they're asking for
the
it.
chalice is in the cupboard, guys. I see the chat. I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in on Sundays. The chalice will be back on a weekday, I promise you. But regarding Ultimate Spider-Man, guys, it has yet to disappoint. We're now going to be getting issue 14 this week. So Wednesday, we get issue 14. It's been 14 bangers, one after the other. It's my favorite book from 2024. Yes, I'm excited for the event that is coming our way, but brace yourself, guys. Things are getting a little spicy, a little scary in this book, especially when it comes to Peter Parker. They have his son now, who has embraced somewhat of the role in the black suit Spidey, if so to speak. But yeah, I'm starting to worry for Peter Parker. I don't know if they're gonna do something to him. Maybe his son's gonna take the mantle. I don't know, guys, but you should be on board right now.
Definitely.
So what issue are they on now, Lando, with Ultimate Spider-Man?
On Wednesday,
14.
we get issue 14.
Interesting.
It's been incredible. It's been such a great read. I love how every single issue we get, it's in, month to month. Like example, it's going to be February, January, March. Like every issue takes place at the time of the month that we're in. And it's really good. It's just yet to disappoint.
Oh,
yeah, it's very cool to see this back. It was on the list over and over and over again last year. So very nice. Runner up is Ultimate Spider-Man #1, the Marco Cicchetto regular, 9.8 at $185 and a 7-day trend of 22%. What do we have for number 10, Lando?
At number 10, we have Daredevil Unleash Hell. This is the red band of issue number 2, the Declan Shavely 1 in 25 by Marvel that just came out now in February 2025. Now, the first issue featured the debut of Muse's Boo, and this one spotlights Muse himself. This book fits right in with the conversation around Daredevil right now. Part of that is Muse is said to be the villain in his on-screen return, with the blood dialed up to 11 in this series, which I cannot wait for. Red Band books typically push boundaries in that regard, so fans were quick to pick up a few copies. We tracked 11 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 32%, with a high sale of $33 for a raw near mint copy and a current raw near mint fair market value of $31. Now, yes, everybody's hyped just like me for Daredevil. I don't think there's anybody that is not looking forward to this. Dude, this cover of Muse is insanely good. I love this cover. 1 in 25, raw near mint, going at $33. I can get behind this. I think that's not too bad of a price. Now, the reads for the red bands. Look, Marvel does slight changes for these red bands. It's not it's not the whole book that changes really. There's subtle pages here and there, but it's worth that extra $1 for myself when reading. Yeah. I think it's neat, especially to see Marvel doing such things. But this cover is stunning. It's sick.
Yeah, it's really good depiction of Muse, and I think that's been the main, I would say, criticism of this series is that the red band's been a little gimmicky. People are expecting one thing, but they're only getting a certain level of violence, and it's not that much different.
And we saw that with Wolverine and the other ones that came out earlier on this too. But I personally have not seen the interior to this book, and I know this is one of those. I'm not going to say gimmicks, but this is a gimmick, and we're looking at this coming out because of Daredevil, right? 1 in 25, it's not for me personally, but if people out there buying it, I understand they're buying it. Me personally, I'm going to pass.
Yeah.
There you go. Number 10, Daredevil Unleash Hell, red band #2, the Declan Shavely variant 1 in 25 with a raw near mint coming in at $33 and a 7-day trend of 32%. Lando, what do we have next? Or no, I'm sorry. Marty, what do we have next?
Yeah, Lando, what do we have next?
I'll go.
So, number 9 brings you Moon Knight, Volume 1, number 1. Yes. Published by Marvel November 1980, we've got a Disney Plus Moon Knight series that was well received. It's been pretty much radio silence on the series since. Recently, Brad Winterbaum confirmed Oscar Isaac would return to play the character in some capacity in the future. What was enough to send fans scrambling to secure the first self-titled ongoing series for the character and, importantly, the first appearance of Khonshu. His first appearance is still expensive, and since the Disney Plus series has fallen out of conversation, this book has become more attainable. We track 33 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 10%, with a high sale of $305 for a CGC 9.8 copy and a current raw, very fine, fair market value $32. And I'll say this book has been a key issue anyways. I mean, if you're a Moon Knight fan, you should have this in your collection as one of the many of the Moonlight series.
But they're not doing season 2 now, right? Isn't that what this whole thing's about? There's no season 2, but he will be back. We just don't know when. Or where.
Just don't know in what capacity. Unfortunately, I enjoyed Moonlight when it came out. It was what's that?
It was fantastic. The music was so good. That entire series was so good.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It wasn't the Moon Knight that I saw in comic books. I thought they could have done better, and more grittier and darker with him. He's a mental patient. He's got a lot of
split personalities.
Yeah, I mean, so he's got a lot of stuff going on. So I would like to see him a bit more darker, and that's what I get from the Moon Knight comic book. But
there's so much potential. They could have expended a whole new season on Jake Lockley or Stephen Grant. And
I don't think they can, because of budgeting. I don't think they can give you that what you see in comic books. So I think when it comes to something like this, it's going to cost a lot of money. But especially with CGI and everything they can possibly do for the Moonlight character, so they're probably looking at budgeting costs.
I loved the show. I thought it was great. I can go back and watch it, and so many scenes are just so well executed. There was that washroom scene. You remember when he throws it down, and then he looks at himself in the mirror. I was like, oh yeah, and that was in. It was one of the trailers, if I'm not mistaken. And the only thing I can agree with you on here, Marty, really is Khonshu. I thought they could have done more with Khonshu. But otherwise, I thought the series was good. Now, for this book, everybody wants it because of the first appearance of Raoul Bushman, right? I thought that's why everyone was picking this up. But no, clearly not. I did have this, Lefteros. I see you in the chat in a 9.8. And let me tell you guys, the book is stunning. It's one of my favorite Moon Knight covers, to be honest with you. I mean, we can look past the chest hair at the front, but otherwise, it's a wonderful cover. Feels
yeah, absolutely. And you're looking at a 1980 book, coming right out of the 70s. So that was hot back then for a lot of women. The manly chest hair, right, Laura?
Marty, were you busting it out in the 80s, man?
No, man. No, I don't think so. Not like that, man.
Don't lie, man.
We're getting visuals. Number 9, Moon Knight number 1, CGC 9.8, $305, 7-day trend of 10%. All right, Lando, what do we have next?
Look who's back again from last week. Now here we have it at number 8, Invincible 61 by Image, that dropped in April 2009. Some may be wondering, based on the cover of this book, who is Conquest? Well, those watching the TV show know exactly who, and who haven't read this comic series are about to find out. If you're in the group with no idea about Invincible, do yourself a favor. Check it out. If nothing more than to find out who the heck this Conquest guy is, this book marks his first appearance, and boy, it's a doozy. We tracked 11 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 19%, with a high sale of $290 for a CGC 9.8 copy and a current near mint raw fair market value of $109. I said it last week, Laura. I know you told us last week that you just couldn't get into this because it was too violent.
Too violent for her. Yeah.
But not like in a punk kind of way, like just like in a like I told you, like in a Deadpool kind of way. Like there's certain things where I'm like, okay, this makes sense for the violence to be there, and there's other times where I just feel like it's going more for effect, and it just doesn't hit with me the way it does with other people, I guess.
Yeah, I can understand that aspect, but within the comics, let me tell you that the violence it's just as bad. Maybe
Yeah.
sometimes worse, maybe
yeah.
sometimes worse. But I will say one of my favorite battles in Invincible, the comic book run, is with Conquest. And like I said last week, he is going to bite the bullet because that's what happens in comics. Guys, it's not a spoiler. This came out in 2009. But yeah, it's great stuff. I'm looking forward. Like, I need to binge watch the previous 2 seasons just to like binge watch. I want to go back and watch because I watched it in like bulks, right? Like I would watch 2 episodes, then I missed an episode, and then I would just watch the episode after. I didn't do a good job watching those. So I really want
Let's
to
do
go
it
back.
together. You start and I'll start. And if you can get through episode 1, I'll get through episode 1. If you can get
Oh
through
no,
2, I'll
I
get
will
through
happily get through it. But
right.
season 3 I'm slacking, so I need to get on this.
Well, I tell you, man, I really enjoyed like this type and the boys. You know, the grittiness to that. I like that type of universe where superheroes are you see the humanity or the inhumanity of them, right? And existentially speaking, I mean, yeah, but we can go on with that. Nevertheless, I think I really enjoy this type of grittiness. You know, I love that darkness to it. Invincible, you see that in the boys. I mean,
You guys like Watchmen?
I enjoyed the Watchmen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really did. I really did. But yeah, absolutely. I like this darkness, and Invincible has really gained traction throughout the years. I mean, for evolving to what it is now, and you're seeing a lot of these Invincible books really coming up on price, and there's a huge following for this. So it's if you haven't jumped onto this train yet, you know, I wouldn't recommend trying to get the whole run. You're going to be spending a lot of money. I say pick up those key issues, you know, if you can get them for a decent price.
For sure. Dude, I'm not going to spoil how this ends. Like I said, he is going to bite the bullet, but what happens and how they do it, I hope they mimic the comics, because the Conquest arc is just so good. I believe it was issues 61 to 72 or 73, somewhere there. It was just incredible. One of my favorite battles out of this entire run. I would say after that, it's probably Thrag. And like, it is just really well done. I love it.
All right. I'll have to add this. Gabe's trying to get me to do X-Men 97. Still, I haven't got that done yet either. So,
yeah, you're still behind that. You know, but I feel you, Laura. You know, life happens.
It does, right? Okay. Number 8, we have Invincible number 61, a CGC 9.8 coming in at 290, 7-day trend of 19%. Marty, what do we have next?
Yeah, here we go. This is back again from last week. Daredevil Volume 1, number 227, published by Marvel in February of 1986. Get ready, because Daredevil Born Again has promised to be bigger, bolder, and bloodier than anything was seen from Daredevil before. Yes. The Netflix series was a pillar of the community for years, and now that they've returned, the cast and are beginning one of the most famous storylines of all times. Fans' excitement is through the roof. Hence, the heavy run in the last few weeks of this book, the initial entry into the Born Again storyline, and Kingpin discovers Daredevil's true identity, something we saw that would carry over from Netflix to Disney Plus series per the trailer. Exciting times. We've tracked 31 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 37%, with a high sale of $246 for a CGC 9.8 copy, and a current raw, very fine, fair market value of $17. And oh man, I'm excited. I love the cinematography when it comes to the Daredevil net series. You know, I mean, season 2, that scene when they had the cameras panned in on Daredevil as he's fighting down the stairwell, you know, and everything. It was just amazing how that was done. Really loved it. It just really sells you into the fight, the long practice, the training that goes into this. Man, I'm so excited. This is going to be a great series.
That's next Tuesday that comes out. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I was
man.
just gonna say we're so close to this finally arriving, guys. I'm so excited. My wife is excited because she really enjoyed Punisher, even.
Man.
And John Bernthal's coming back, reprising the role of obviously the Punisher. We got some news regarding that too this week, or actually today. How there's gonna be a special presentation types thing on Disney with John Bernthal as the Punisher. So I'm excited about that. I really hope to see that. I know that we've been hearing about projects getting canceled, kind of like Nova. So I hope that doesn't happen with Punisher.
Yeah.
But as for this book, I said it last week. I'm kind of surprised that, you know, we knew that Kingpin knew who Daredevil was, that it's Matt Murdock by the end of season 3. I thought this would have popped earlier, and here we are now making the top 10. It's coming in at number 7, and again, it's one of those examples of when it's in your face, guys. You know, we see the series just around the corner, so it makes sense that this is now getting some love on the secondary market. Twin Towers on this wonderful cover. I gotta say, my other favorite cover that features the Twin Towers is Daredevil 257. You have the Punisher and Daredevil fighting at the forefront of the cover, and they're like 4 times the size of the Twin Towers. I don't know why.
Wow. That makes sense. It checks out. Lando, if you're playing Marvel Rivals, you need to be the Punisher.
Oh, that's like, my go-to. That's my go-to.
Mine too. That's what I was playing it today, and I was the Punisher. Anyway,
because
you can set up that little like machine gun, you know, and just
set up the turret, man. Just set up the turret and go AWOL. You know what you need though?
Yeah.
You need somebody to play as Doctor Strange, open a portal for you where everybody is, and you just
and you need a healer.
And you annihilate from the portal with the turret. You're on fire.
Okay, good to know. Anthony and I were playing earlier, and I was Storm, so I was attacking up from above, and then he was playing as a Punisher, and I'm like, Storm's just so so I switched off of her. And the thing I heard is really good too. If you guys are playing Marvel Rivals, I haven't tried the thing yet, but anyway, getting off topic. Number 7, Daredevil, number 227, CGC 9.8, 246, 7-day trend 37%. Marty, what do we have? Wait, Lando, what do we have next?
Well, we've got Hulk number 1, the Ed McGuinness regular cover by Marvel from back in January 2008. As we get further away from the new Captain America film, fans are highlighting some of the brighter spots, one of which was Red Hulk, albeit not as much as some may have wanted. Still, we're seeing solid aftermarket movement for the first appearance of Red Hulk, if you want to call this that, as fans wonder what may be coming down the line for the character. We tracked 29 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 54% with a high sale of $225 for a CGC 9.8 copy and a current raw near mid fair market value of $48. Was Harrison Ford one of the better parts of the film? I'll say yeah. I thought he did a great job.
He did. He wasn't as old as I thought he was. Like not old, but he wasn't as seasoned as I thought he would be in that role. He did a good job.
Yeah, that's up until the moment you see him without his shirt.
I know. Did you notice how they strategically kept it like shoulders up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
but
I mean, you know, come on. He's what, in his 60s? You know, you got to give the guy a break. Man.
No, he's in his 80s. He's in his 80s, guys.
No shit. Okay. No, there's no way.
Yeah. Dude, Harrison Ford is not young. Harrison Ford is
he's 82.
Yeah, exactly.
82. Wow.
If I could look like that at 82, I'd be happy. But
wow.
Don't forget, guys, he replaced William Hurt, who passed away, who was playing Thunderbolt Ross, Thaddeus Ross, prior. And I thought Harrison Ford did a great job. Now, for this book, I don't want to say bitter about it, just because I still don't feel like it's entirely his first appearance, rather issue 2 being the first appearance, but obviously this cover is just incredible.
I mean, this is the cover that people go for though right now. I mean,
absolutely.
Ever since, I mean, they've always picked the Ed McGuinness cover, so I mean, regardless, I think it's a sick cover, you know, and I see why people are buying this. To see it go for $225, that's interesting. It's interesting.
I love it. And you know what? $225. I hope to see more of Red Hulk, because Laura, even when you finished watching the movie. First thing you were mentioning was that how Red Hulk was amazing, but kind of we didn't get too much of him, right?
Yeah, but if you watch, how much are we allowed? We can't really say too much right now because a lot of people haven't seen it.
No spoilers yet. All right.
Well, the end credits, I think that's why people are thinking, okay, maybe there's some potential for this.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I won't say much.
Sort of.
Well,
Well, yeah.
Harrison Ford probably, worked out really hard for this role, right? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, the movie overall, I think everybody just needs to go out there and see it and decide for themselves. Guys, we're almost halfway there. There are 84 of you in the house. So thank you for joining us on this Tuesday night to cover the top 10. If you haven't already, please sub the channel. We have the amazing Lando hosting the Shakers on Thursdays. And then we have comics covered and all kinds of stuff all weekend. So yeah, make sure you guys sub and give the show a thumbs up if you haven't already.
Right.
Number 6, Hulk number 1, Ed McGuinness, regular 9.8, 225, 7-day trend of 54%. Marty, what do we have next?
Yeah, we're back with Magik number 1. This is the J. Scott Campbell second print Virgin 1-in-25 ratio, published by Marvel in February of 2025. So yes, this month. Magik, J. Scott Campbell go hand in hand at this point. If he's lending his talents to a cover featuring the character, fans are picking it up. Add to that, it being the reprint of the first appearance of Demon Crow, and now you're cooking. His cover has been commanding a high premium on the aftermarket, and that trend continues with this book. We tracked 10 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 1%, with a high sale of $70 for a raw near mint copy and a current raw near mint fair market value of $66. I love J. Scott Campbell, but I love it. I love the use of the negative space on the outside. The almost what would you call it? Like a negative, I guess, view. Yeah, and I love that, but I don't love it. $70 enough for J. Scott Campbell at this point for a very modern book, So this is interesting that someone's buying this for this amount,
Yeah, as the Hermano Chico Suave in the chat said, J. Scott Campbell is asking quite a pretty penny for these signed, but it's a stunning cover. I love it. It's like you said, Marty, the negative stuff in the background is great. I'm not a fan of when Marvel does this, when they hit a second printing ratio and they bring forth a cover that was available as a trade basically on the first print. I'm not the biggest fan, but sometimes it works. And I gotta say, this one is stunning. The slight color swap, you give it a little negative space in the background. It's great. But all covers aside, guys, the Magik series has been so good. Man, it's really interesting. I'm really enjoying this right now. And I'm picking it up for two reasons: covers and because of the read.
There was so much competition with the covers. Nothing to me beats the Pablo Villalobos cover. That was by far the strongest, in my opinion. I'm going to have to go against you here on this one, Lando. This one does nothing for me. I think that the front leg looks oddly, it's not angled right for it to be that size. And honestly, the background, I find it distracting. So if I was a cover buyer, this wouldn't be the one I'd be going for.
It's funny you say that because I saw a lot of people commenting on the Villalobos cover how the left arm of Magik is actually massive compared to the right. But guys, fine details, I guess. I think they both present well. I agree with you. I love the Villalobos. The Villalobos is probably my favorite between the two. But J. Scott Campbell's been doing this entire run, and he's been putting out some wonderful covers, and I'm on board. Like he is.
I'm always drawn to the way he draws females, but this one just doesn't do it for me. I don't know. It's the background's a little bit too much going on, and maybe I'm just a total ADD person when it comes to looking at covers. Because once I lose interest of the focal point, which I don't feel like this really has one, I'm like next. So,
yeah,
I'm with Marty. I'm not gonna spend $70, but if you want to have fun, Magik number 1, J. Scott Campbell, second printing Virgin 1-in-25, raw for 70, 7-day trend of 1%. All right. What do we have next? This is back.
We've got, yes, again, like you said, it's back. Knights number 1 by Luigi Formisano. It's the regular by Image, October 2023. Netflix has been bringing their A game when it comes to their animation projects. Fans are tuning turning to it as another legitimate option to meet their animated entertainment needs. Netflix is set to raise the bar again, adapting this book with quite an intriguing storyline. It's still a cheap book and relatively unknown, so collectors are snagging it up in droves should the series live up to the hype. We tracked 31 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 59% with a high sale of $27 for a raw near mint copy and a current raw near mint fair market value of $20. I just saw somebody say they picked it up for cheap, comic centric. The series is still ongoing, if I'm not mistaken. I did see this, I believe, on FOC. So I correct me if I'm wrong, guys, because I was scrolling through today's FOC and I think I saw tonight's issue 13 or 14, somewhere around there. But I completely slept on this. I didn't pay any attention to it, and I said it last week. I got to go back to read this before anything pops up. For my sake, it's simply for read. Speculation wise, I mean, clearly we're missing the boat. It's already on top 10 lists and making splashes on the secondary market. So you got to hope to find this out there, kind of like Comic Centric did. So congratulations to you. If you guys see it in the wild, pick it up.
Yeah, Nemesis Prime did a show, him and Manimal. I was on their podcast, and this was his pick. This was a while ago, and he read the tea leaves, and he knew that this was the book, and he was watching CovrPrice last week. He's like, do you remember talking about this? And no, I don't remember.
You don't?
You can still order this at CovrPrice from Diamond. That's good to know.
Really? Didn't know that. I didn't even know they were still in stock.
Yeah,
Yeah, Lando, pick one up for me, buddy.
Yeah, I'm gonna check right now, man.
Wow. Okay, that's good to know. See, this is why you guys tune in. Number 4, we have Knights number 1, Luigi Formisano, top raw sale, $27. 7-day trend of 59%. We only have 3 left this Tuesday, guys. All right, Marty. Let's go back to the Mark Spears train.
Yes, bringing it back. People are still behind this. Okay, and this is the second time this week. So, and I'm sorry, second time. This is since last week. This was on the list. So, Gunslinger Spawn number 18, Mark Spears regular cover, published by Image in March of 2023. Mark Spears has been a hot name for some time now. His style grabs the attention and lends itself to the horror aesthetic. Well, he nailed it with this book, bringing the level of terror that Spawn title lacks at times. In essence, Spawn is one of the most horrifying things that could ever occur to a human. This cover brings that point home. We tracked 19 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 49%, with a high sale of $30 for a raw near mint copy and a current raw near mint fair market value of $18. Okay. There it is. And, of course, I think I flexed on this last week. Did I not?
I think you did. Yeah, you showed your...
Yeah, I did. So, once again, you got...
flex again. Do you have it handy? We can have you flex again.
You want me to flex it? Hold on. Let me see.
Just flex again. Let's just see it.
Let me see if I can dig it up. Because, we only saw the flexing for the... Yeah, we saw the flexing for the Thursday crew, so... There we go.
Oh, he's not one but two, guys. Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. But I didn't know. I mean, I'm a Spawn collector anyways, and this is a A cover, so this was just a part of what was on my pull list. So, but I never even considered this being a Mark Spears cover. And we've got the signature blue that he typically always does too, and it's very just like the Reed said, it's very kind of that eerie clown horrific. If you have a phobia of clowns, it's probably not be a book for you to get right there.
Yeah, I was gonna say something about this. Anthony and I, he likes to be the gunslinger. Like, this is just totally not about comics, but like as a marriage, he's like, I'm the gunslinger, I'm the boots on the ground. He's like, you're my sniper. And that's kind of how we've always ran things. So I actually want to get some of these for him just to kind of have him up on the wall for this, sentimental reason.
You notice that little cat right there too? I don't know if you noticed that. It's a cuteness amongst horror there.
Yeah, he's so cute. What do you think, Lando?
I'm kind of intrigued by the gunslinger story. We're gonna
change it works.
Changing the shop name to Gunslinger Comics, guys. It's a neat cover. Like I said last week, man. Mark Spears covers, guys. There's tons more coming our way. I don't know if you guys saw FOC this week. He just dropped some Silverhawks. There was the On FOC this week, there's actually a Vampirella #1, and it is a banger. Beautiful Mark Spears cover. Mark Spears does some incredible work. The cat on this cover, I saw the chat already point that out. Yeah, that's hilarious. But yeah, man, look, all Mark Spears books are really, getting love as I think he deserves it, man. The work is great. I think he's you know who he reminds me of right now? You remember when Momoko hit, and like Momoko's been pumping out covers one after the other. Like Mark Spears is pretty much at that level now. The guy is working. Laura, you have him working on some wonderful exclusives.
I know. I'm trying to keep him from like. I'm like, don't leave me, because he has so much going on.
But
He's got a lot, yeah.
It's neat. This is a sick cover. It's actually mortifying. But yeah, it's cool to see it here.
It's wrong in so many ways, right?
Exactly. What's that baby spawn?
You got a baby spawn right there behind. I mean, it's just a lot. It's very,
He watches the show. So Mark, if you're out there listening, we love your stuff. And I'm noticing again he likes the downward angle. Like he likes to be shooting up at his characters. I think that's another kind of cool little tidbit about his stuff that you can kind of identify his work. Not only the blue, but just the perspective that he chooses. So well done. Somebody told me in the chat that it kind of reminds him of like a horrific Alex Ross. And I can see that. Number 3, Gunslinger Spawn number 18, Mark Spears regular, raw near mint, $30, 7-day trend of 49%. All right, Lando, you're at number 2.
Oh, baby, guys, we are trespassing. And if you understood that reference, that means you read this book. Guys, Geiger issue 10, Gary Frank's second print by Image that dropped just this month in February 2025. Fans have been all over Geiger since it debuted. It's been dominating the charts, albeit not going crazy on the aftermarket. The discussion surrounding this book is full of excitement for what comes next. Part of that push is this issue. The fan base got their first peek at the glowing woman. They got an even better look with this second print featuring the glowing woman front and center on this cover. It shot up collectors' must-have list quickly. This issue was featured prominently in our FOC list that you can see on CovrPrice and the new Comic Book Day articles, yet somehow it still went overlooked. Shout out to my brother Lefteros for putting together both incredible lists over on CovrPrice. Currently, you would be hard-pressed to find one for CovrPrice. We tracked 21 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 42% with a high sale of $15 for a raw near mint copy and a current raw near mint fair market value of $12. Now, yes, guys, she is front and center on this cover. The Ghost Machine universe is probably one of my favorite things indie comic related right now. Whether it be Junkyard Joe, whether it be Geiger, whether it be anything. Red Coat is probably the only one that I'm a little bit behind on, but her name right here is Ash Arden. Guys, the character looks very promising. You really get more of this character in issue 11. In issue 10, you really just get this splash page right here. So whether you want to consider it a cameo or first appearance, I don't want to get into these debates. For myself, it's really a cameo, but issue 11 is also another book you would want to pick up for this one. And like I said, this, not to toot CovrPrice's horn. I'm not here to promote CovrPrice. What I'm here to tell you is facts. And this was on the list for the FOC selections that drop every week by Lefteros, new Comic Book Day as well. So it was on the radar. It was definitely on the radar. I would buy both. Yes, exactly. Issue 10 and 11. Because the character is looking very promising. I'm excited. This is such a good read.
It's a good read because it feels. Do you guys remember when this first came out? Marty, you were around during this point when the Geiger #1 was all over the list because it's such a good read.
That.
It feels like it could actually happen.
Yeah, and that was a different volume, Laura, the original.
Yeah, right. And again, like it was Joe Glow, right? So having the glowing woman now kind of pop up is, I don't know, it's kind of perfect. If you can get your hands on it, I would definitely grab it because it's a good read.
And it's still attainable too, even for raw near mint.
Yeah,
not bad. $15. You could probably still go out into stores and try to track them down there too. All right, number 2, Geiger number 10, Gary Frank, second printing with a raw near mint at $15 and a 7-day trend of 42%. Last but not least, my amazing Marty. What do we have for
Yes.
number 1?
My final read of the night, and this is Spider-Man, Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider can, does whatever Spider can.
Oh,
Friendly
Yo, you
Okay.
were borderline the that Asian woman that was singing in the street.
I had to throw. This is my last read for the night, ladies and gentlemen. So I had to throw a little something in there for you. Anyways, number 1 brings you your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man number 1. This is the Leonardo Romero regular cover, published by Marvel in December of 2024. We've highlighted this book multiple times in the last few weeks, and it's been rising up the list each time. Part of that is its steadily rising viewership. Folks don't necessarily have the time to binge a TV show that wasn't really on their radar. By word of mouth, this show has been gaining more attention. The discussion has fans on the lookout for this book, a prequel to the new animated series. CGC copies are starting to make their way back and hitting the market for a new wave of collectors. We tracked 29 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 91% with a high sale of $104 for a CGC 9.8 copy and a current raw near mint fair market value of $11. So yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan, I don't know much about this. I can't say I'm not a big fan. I just don't know much about this. But if it's anything of Spider-Man, and a lot of newer collectors obviously seem to be going for it. I mean, if people are getting Spider-Man, absolutely, go for it. Do your read on it. I grew up reading Spider-Man, so that's so nostalgic for me. And seeing something like Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man come about. So yeah, I got mixed feelings about it, but nevertheless, I see what people are buying. So not bad.
And it's climbed a lot the last few weeks, so that's saying something too.
Climbed. It solidified itself at number 1 this week, guys. Rightfully so. It's look, the animated show really is good. Like I said, the first the first 2 episodes, it's gonna take some getting through. But
Okay.
once you get to episode 3 and on, man, it is so good. There's the stories, the cameos, the appearances. It really does a fine job at creating this alternate universe Spider-Man in animated form. The animation's great. The characters, I love them. We just got confirmation now for season 2, and apparently Gwen Stacy is going to be there. Spider-Gwen is going to be there. So that is very interesting. And she's going to be from that universe. We all know Spider-Gwen being from an alternate universe, etc. I'm curious to see how this is going to play out within the season for season 2, but it was so good. And I could understand why people are now flocking to this, because the season wrapped up, and it wrapped up on a high note, in my opinion. And because of that, I think this justifies why this is now getting love on the secondary market. Word of mouth, people speaking about this. I encourage you, if you didn't watch it, definitely go check it out. Like I said, first 2 issues, it's not a doozy, but you'll get through them, and then you'll really start to enjoy yourself as of episode 3.
Well, based off your recommendation, Lando, I think I'll start it tonight. Then I'll let you know.
Yeah.
I'll let
Hey,
you
you
know how it
stole
goes,
him.
man.
He's gonna do it.
But
Yeah.
listen, the only thing I want is Marty to sing the song again. That was amazing.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, does whatever Spider can.
Thank you, Marty.
You're so welcome, man.
It'll haunt me tonight when I'm trying to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right,
It's kind of
guys.
kitschy, it's got a kitschy tune to it. So some of y'all gonna be humming that later, I guarantee you.
Dude,
And if you're on the rewind, you hear this, you're gonna be humming it.
it's gonna be me at work tomorrow.
No.
I just hear Spider Pig when you do that. I hear Spider Pig. Spider
Yeah.
Pig.
Absolutely.
Anyway, we need more panel reading during the. Okay, we'll tell our writers. We'll get to it.
We need what? We need what?
Wait, more panel
More-
during the reading? Like you want us back on screen during the readings? I recently took us off screen because I thought it was too distracting.
So he's just being nice. He says panel to include myself and Marty, but we get what you're trying to say, guys.
Hey, better yet, why don't you let the people that watch the show decide if they want to see us like after the read. If you do, let us know, and if you like it with the actual slide up so you can see the book, let us know while we do the read. Yeah.
May I unsub if Marty sings anymore tonight? Can listen to Marty's dog instead.
Hey,
my ears.
I'm not for everybody, but for those who love me, man, you love me forever.
That's right, baby.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you guys leave a comment after the show's over and let me know. Like that's a good. Honestly, I read all the comments. So if you guys want to have us on screen more during or after the initial read, let me know. And
See, even Derek says more panel means more Marty, and who else doesn't want more Marty, right, Lando?
I want more Marty, yo. Let's go.
Lando,
Oh man.
I think it's in YouTube.
Oh, I gotta flex one. I gotta flex one more book because I saw one of the chatsters. One of the people in the chat was talking about another Mark Spears cover of King Spawn #20. So
wicked.
You know, I mean, I had to flex a couple with Mark Spears tonight because with me, you know what I say. Mark Spears, gotta have it, man. Gotta have it.
I mean, how can you not? How can you not?
Yeah.
All right, that's it for us, guys. Right after this, over on Nearing Nirvana, I will be hosting the runners up. So if you weren't able to get anything between 1 and 11, maybe 12 through 20 will be more kind to you. So stay tuned for that. Before we go, though, Lando, last words?
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We did this in rapid time. It was not even 40 minutes. We did top 10 for you guys with the runner up. But as Laura said, go check out the rest of the runners up over on Nearing Nirvana. I love hanging out with you two. I love hanging out with the chat. Tuesdays are fine, but let's keep the train rolling. Come back Thursday because we're going to bring you the Shakers. And I'm excited for that because the Shakers tends to take us all to the Ophir Abyss. And I will be driving the train and taking you all with me. So let's go.
How do you follow
I can't follow that. So the only thing I'm going to say is may the comic gods continue to bless your long boxes, and in the spirit of our friend TiVo, continue to look down on your long boxes. Excelsior.
Boom. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We will see you next week. See you later.
For the entire crew, this is TiVo saying keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.